So we are now recording the July, oh my gosh, what date is it? 28th, 2017, Small Business Accounting Advisors. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
So if I get cut off, y'all stay where you're at because we're about ready to have a big storm here. It waited all day until this hour before it decided it wanted to do that. So
Yeah, you don't want to be like Sarah.
Is this a thunder lightning storm kind of thing?
yes, severe storms and flooding and all that kind of fun stuff. But as far as I know, I'm hoping that the house is not hit by lightning or even the trees outside that get into the lines like with Sarah.
Right.
But she was prepared. She has Mark to help her.
Yeah.
I have my laptop that moves to my sister's house for a secure internet connection.
You still use your Chromebook?
I do, but I use my Chromebook more like if I'm going to conventions or things like that. I don't have any passwords, anything on the Chromebook, and it's strictly online. So should something happen to that Chromebook and it walk away, I don't have to worry about client, confidential information or really losing anything.
Yeah, I'm going to take mine to we're having a workshop or a boot camp on Tuesday down in Seattle. I figured I'd take it down there and use it. I also have a Windows 10 little streaming computer.
Okay.
And I use that for like when I do PowerPoint presentations.
Right.
It's just easier.
Oh, absolutely. I do have a laptop myself, and I really didn't want to put QuickBooks Desktop on it, but I ended up doing that anyway. Mostly as a demo for a client. They were deciding whether they wanted to use online or desktop and what the differences were. And they are absolutely different. It's a whole different way of thinking. But so now I have desktop on my laptop. So Larry, let's talk to you. Let's talk about Doodle.
Yeah, I thought it was cute. I watched Dototech the other day.
Yes.
And he presented a couple of things. One was a book like a boss, and the other was Doodle. And Doodle, it's like a polling thing. If the way he described it is if, let's say you have half a dozen people scattered around and you all want to meet for dinner or you all want to meet for lunch or whatever it is. And this way they pick out several dates on the calendar that would be available to you, and you send it out to all 6 buddies, and then they click on the date that would suit them the best, the date and the time. And
you all come together with a date that works for everyone.
Right.
Instead of 5,000 emails back and forth.
Exactly. So I thought it was pretty cute.
I think that's Sarah.
Yes, I'm watching Sarah, and it looks like she has Penny. There's Mark. And it looks like they're outside of, I'm not sure where. If it's her office or if it's Mark's office. No,
I thought it was a vet or something.
Penny has a tumor.
Aww.
That's all right.
So just cross your fingers because
They're going to take care of
it's
her.
growing. So I want the vet to look at it.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So cross your fingers and I'll stay in the background.
All right.
Okay.
Prayers.
Yes, for Penny. So let's go to you, Peggy. Let's talk about CRM. So what you think? Got a couple options.
Several of them that jumped out today. My nephew said Jot Form, and I think it was Larry that mentioned Nimble.
Yeah, Seth covered that this morning on his Hangout, and it was
Yeah.
pretty neat. But I know Dennis, I think, mentioned Zoho. He does Zoho.
I use Zoho quite a bit.
Yeah.
You can get a free version of it, but it's kind of limited as to what you can do.
Right,
But you can get a free version to try things out.
sure.
So, I mean, basically you create the form and it captures the information that you need.
That's not how I use it. I use it to manage clients, and what it does is it centralizes all my emails with that client in one spot. I can take notes. I can have attachments. What I'll use it for is like for passwords for like QuickBooks for the client,
Got
or
it.
if I'm taking notes. I always take notes, or like if I'm calling the IRS, I'll use it to take notes and get people's ID numbers. It's just a nice way of having everything centralized. And what I do is I have like a Gmail address is my primary address, but I forward it to my Zoho. So I can, in case I ever decide to get rid of Zoho, I still have my regular business email address. It gets forwarded to Zoho.
Got it.
It's
So-
like I pay like $20 a month. It's pretty reasonable.
Not bad, not bad.
And I spend about over half my time in Zoho, especially during taxes when I'm switching back and forth between clients.
Right, absolutely. Then you have everything at one spot.
I see where Brandon mentioned that you're eligible for another application, right?
Results CRM.
Oh,
I
that's right.
just signed up for that, and I'm going to try it out. Up to
Yeah.
this point,
It was
I
free.
was just using Google, and actually I set Google up before Google Suites came into being. So what my policy was, whenever a client came on, they got their own email. So everything that was sent to and from that client goes through that email. So when I log on to, and I have a special name, I have clients' emails in my Google account. So I can go to that Google account and it gives me a whole list of my clients, and the passwords are remembered. So I can switch between clients really easy, but it's getting big and bulky at this point. It would be nice to have a real CRM, so I'm going to try. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try the results. This is from Intuit, and this is part of the, yes, Sarah? Did you want to say?
Real quick before the doctor comes in. When I asked the results whether they would like get us hooked on it and then leave us, they said no. But if you read it, it says that after the first year, if you don't bring in so many clients,
Right.
if you don't sell so many of them,
Got it.
and they haven't responded to me on that.
Whether you're the reseller, or there's two different, there's a partner or a reseller. And I signed
Okay.
up for the reseller, and all you
Yeah.
have to give them is 4 leads a year.
For leads. Okay.
Right, right.
So there is a responsibility that you
Yeah.
do something in return for, because it's like thousands of dollars worth of software, really.
That's
Oh,
right.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But I look at it as I have a year to play with it to decide whether it's going to work for me.
Yeah, good
And
point.
if I am using it, I am going to recommend it to my clients. If I'm recommending it to my clients,
Right.
then I'm in their system.
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So before I go that route, I want to use it myself, and I want to make sure it does the things that I want it to do.
Right.
And one of the things I'm looking forward to with this results is they keep track of when clients are due for renewal. Well, I have other clients that they're not QBO advisors, but they have the same kind of thing, service contracts that are due within a year. So if there were a CRM that would keep track of when these service contracts that come up for renewal, that would save them an immense amount of time.
Now, results used to be, it's been around for a good while. It used to be desktop. Is it in the cloud now, or is it still desktop?
I'm going to say it's in the cloud now, because they asked if I wanted to host it or if they wanted me to have them host it. And I'm having them host it.
Okay.
So I'm not sure exactly if it's a hosted situation or if it's a cloud situation.
If you're
I'll be
interested,
back to you on that.
I was going to say, if you're interested, I could show you my page in Zoho to give you an idea what it looks like.
Got it.
Sure, absolutely. Before you go there, or while you're going there, I just want to say hi to Dwayne. Dwayne hasn't been with us for a little while. It's nice to see him back.
It is.
Where you
Well, we're not seeing you, but we're hearing you. We see your name.
See Dwayne's name, but and Dwayne says hi to everyone, so I guess he has his mic off.
Got it. That's fine. He's probably driving in Southern California traffic.
So yes, we want him to be safe.
Okay,
Yes,
can you
I'll tell you, Friday afternoon is the worst.
Go ahead, Dennis.
see it?
Yes.
Okay, so you see Dennis Thompson up here. So there's different sections. Here's like the notes section. And so I'll put down information that I need to have ready access to, like my PIN number, my CAF number, and all that. I can have links where to file things. I've got previous notes.
How long have you been using it?
About 2 years, maybe 3. I don't know. If I want to have links, like if I want to send something to a client, like how to invite a client to have access to the QBO file, I can have it here. Got an offer and compromise. So I can put all these different links here, and then I can put like, it's just kind of like notes to myself, but it's all in one spot.
Yes, that is nice, and it's short and sweet.
Yeah, I mean, you can edit it, and you can expand the space.
Got it.
You can have attachments. So
Oh, nice.
what you do is you like most of mine are up in Smart Vault, and so I'll just go and attach them. Like if I want to have instructions for the power of attorney,
Right.
and if I've got questions, like where to file amended returns, so I can put attachments in here. And then the thing that is really, for me, the most important is that for each client, I can have the emails centralized in one spot.
Nice.
And so and I can send emails from here. And there's things that I'm not even using. And then you can put links in here. I think you can put like about 5 or 6 links. So I'll have, I can click on here. Like this one, I use Iris Solutions for my, for doing IRS type, like offers and compromise and tracking audits. And so I can, have, it's just a shortcut for there. So it's kind of limited by your, I guess, your creativity as far as how you want to use it. And like say you can have activities. You can put a new task in here and track them by client. So again, it's like, but during tax season, I'm constantly in and out. I spend more time in Zoho because I'm always switching back and forth between clients.
So do they have checklists there?
You can put them in there. You can put checklists in there. I mean, they don't have.
Nice.
I mean, you can put anything you want in it, pretty much. But I use it for like passwords for certain clients because they'll have like, in some cases, I will be doing their B&O taxes. In the state of Washington, we have an income tax. We have what's known as a sales tax, B&O tax. And so I can put and we don't do paper anymore. It's all online. So I'll get so I'll get, the passwords for the clients. And so I can't keep all this stuff in my head. So, but for every client, I've got things that need to, go to each client are in this area. So it's just kind of, I couldn't run my practice without a CRM, especially as it gets bigger and you get more clients. It's impossible to keep everything straight in your head.
Oh, absolutely.
And I wouldn't recommend trying Excel or anything like that because it's not really designed for something like that. But this is specifically designed for, and like I say, I'm only using maybe 10 or 15% of the capability of it. but it meets my needs. Like it's only like $20 a month. So it's and also if it's on your if it's a desktop application, if it ever crashes, then you're in big trouble. But here it's up in the cloud, so.
So that lightning storm comes and visits you, Dennis, you can pick up your laptop and go to the nearest Starbucks and.
Yeah, actually, I think I could get access to it on my Chromebook since it's up in the cloud.
Nice.
It doesn't need to be PC. I think I can access it on my phone or on my tablet.
So you'd be sitting at the Starbucks with your Chromebook and your tablet, and you'd be dual screening.
Yeah. Yeah. Or maybe throw in my cell phone as a third.
There you go. There you go. Watching a webinar on your cell phone.
Yeah. So I will see if I can stop. I will stop sharing.
Dennis.
Okay.
Very nice.
I'll
Yeah.
try to see where I can stop sharing.
Okay. Well, if
Hey,
you
hey,
can.
Dennis.
It's
Yeah.
the same button as you share with.
Hey,
Pardon?
Dennis.
Yeah. Yes.
If you decide to leave Zoho, can you like download your database or all your
Good question.
stuff?
I am not sure. I think you probably can get a CSV file, but I don't know that you can. The thing that would be really critical for me is downloading the notes, all the notes that I have.
You might want to try a test or something.
Yeah,
if it
I was
has it.
thinking I signed up for Nimble because I like Nimble, but
It's expensive. I might turn mine off.
I'm thinking, well, the thing that I was hoping I could do is that there's a thing called PySync that I was hoping I could, were you on the CES hangout when the guy that does Nimble or invented Nimble? It does sync your contacts, but what it doesn't do, which is really critical for me, is it doesn't sync your emails. And so
I know it says it links it to Outlook, but I'm not. I couldn't get it to work. I think
Yeah, I
it
mean,
likes Google. Are you on Google Mail or are you Gmail or are you on?
I'm on Gmail, but like I say, everything gets forwarded to
Yeah.
Zoho, and so I use Zoho.
They changed it. I thought I would be able to stop the screen sharing. I don't know where they put it in Zoom anymore.
Yeah, I'm trying
Go
to
to the
think.
bottom. Like scroll
Well,
around
there's
the
the share
bottom.
screen, but because I'm the host, I have one participant at a time, multiple participants, advanced options.
Then scroll up over the top portion of it and it should drop down for you. No?
Viewing options, original
At
size.
it on the bottom. Because I had to switch back and forth and I would click on it to start it, I would click on it to stop it. And click on
Usually it's usually up.
Hit the escape button and see if you can get I'm just saying.
Off the computer.
Right?
I love technology.
Help, help.
Help.
I love it when it works.
That is
If you click on share screen, don't you get to the thing to stop it?
me.
It's
Well-
on the bottom of the screen, isn't it?
Well, let me see, one participant at a time.
Wait a
And then
second.
Oh wait, how many screens do you have?
3.
Okay, which one of the screens is Zoom actually on? The little blue dot with the thing. Click on
No,
that,
there's a green box around it.
right?
Click on the X in the upper right-hand corner.
Won't that kick them out altogether?
It's gonna close his internet.
Yeah.
No, he hit the wrong one. I want the one on that. We're looking at his screen. Do you see
Yeah,
that
because
in
he
the
shared-
top right-hand corner of the little thing with the windows?
There it is.
Oh, here. Okay.
Options.
That the X in there you
There we go.
Hey,
Yay!
Uh-huh.
Wow.
goodness.
Penny yawned.
It's the same screen. It's just you pick one of the screens or you click
What I'm saying.
the X, it closes.
I'll put this on my things I've learned in day list.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Deb. Glad to see you. Glad you could join us. And I'm glad both you and Sarah are on at the same time. We can talk a little payroll.
Well,
Ooh.
they're the vet's office though, so.
I know, but
Yeah,
Sarah,
they took a sample out of her neck and now they've got it under the microscope. So,
Okay, good.
oh, wow, that's
so
fast.
she's not happy. Stuck a needle in her.
Penny.
Yeah, needle.
So I'd like to hear more about.
You're disturbed because the desktop direct deposit rate is going up. So you think they're really trying to push QBO, leaving it the same in
Yeah, I mean, how do I compete?
payments?
What do I say to a client when they're seeing all the advertising and their friends or their relatives who own businesses are like, I don't pay for direct deposit, and they come to me and I'm like,
I tell them that. I said, well, they don't, but then they have to pay high rates to get it fixed. So your
to
choice
get what?
is high, you'll have to pay to get it fixed when it's wrong. Your time is valuable.
Yeah.
So what's your time worth? You either pay.
Yeah. So no, they're paying me very well to do the quarterlies. They're paying me very well to do the payroll. They don't have a problem with paying me a premium to have somebody they can call doing
Right.
their payroll instead of ADP or something like that. It's just the direct deposit fees are out of control when Intuit's other products are free or $2 a month or something.
So it depends on, sometimes the other products work well.
Yeah.
But if you want, the complicated payrolls I know you do, and like I have one guy, I do a lot of restaurants, and the tip credit in a restaurant is huge.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, well, here's your choice. You can get free direct deposit, but then you're going to miss the $33,000 tip credit on your tax return. Which one is more important?
That's kind
So if we're going to stay in desktop, if we stay in desktop, then the easiest way to get that information up to QBO, and I'm not a big QBO user, so I was curious to hear about Zed.
Well, I tell you what, my big problem with moving to QBO was, how do I get the payroll? I hate this. I like desktop payroll.
Yeah.
Right.
I actually love it, and I put it in quotes because how can you love a product? But
All right.
I love it. I would marry it. I mean, I love it.
But if I give you an Excel spreadsheet with the journal entry in it, can you use the Zed to pull it into QBO?
Yeah, you can use that access to pull in journal entries, lists, checks,
Yeah.
sales receipts, invoices.
So if I give you a copy of the TBX to test, you could play with it.
Yeah. Now, what I like about Zed versus Transaction Pro Importer, and I'm sure Transaction Pro Importer could do it the same way.
Mm-hmm.
It's that Zed Access costs $185 for as many clients as you want, for both QBO and desktop, for as long as you need it. Whereas TPI is $20 per connection. And,
Right.
And you have 10 clients that are using TPI, that's $200 a month.
Right.
And I just don't want to pay that. And I think Karen's product is fabulous. Now, I've bought Transaction Pro Importer for the desktop and paid a couple $100 for the 3 of them. I also bought the server edition that cost me close to $1,000. So I used the product. But when it came to importing into QBO, I'm thinking, I hate paying another $20. I mean, $20 for QBO. I mean, and I'm one that believes in spending money.
Right.
But I'm on fixed fees with these people. And it's like, okay, I'm like, by the way, I have an idea for all of you if you want to, with the QBO going up for wholesale. But anyway, I'll get to that in a minute if you want. $20 for this. Now it's going up to $25. $20 for HubDoc, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden my fees are eating up with all of these technology stuff. And I can't go to a client every day and say, oh, by the way, your fee went up another $20.
Right.
They don't understand. Frankly, they do not care what it costs me to do their work.
Right.
So then I'm caught between, do I pay the $20 or do I spend the time to do it?
Right.
So, and being the frugal, aka cheap accountant that I am, I'll spend the time, because it's, I like doing it too. So anyway, when I was at QuickBooks Connect, this Zed Access guy was there, Steve.
How do you spell that?
ZED.
ZED?
If you go to zedsystems.com,
Is it ZE?
ZED, like
ZED.
zebra, echo, boy.
Okay.
And you can get, he has importer, exporter, and you can get the support plan, which is what I purchased initially because I thought, let me see, which was $400. And that allows, he will log into your machine, answer your phone, whatever you need. And you don't have to renew that, but if you don't renew it, you still have the product. The product costs like $185 or $199. So if you don't want to buy the support thing, and I bought that initially to, I wanted him to help me learn it. I've used him once. So, anyway. So I bought it and it hooks to QBO, desktop, and POS. Now I've never used it on POS, so I can't speak to that. But every single client I said, oh, finally, I can do all my desktop payroll and I can then import it into QBO. And what's really fabulous about it, it imports the paychecks as checks. Okay? So I have a report that says, give me all in desktop, give me all the paychecks for this pay period. And I don't want the bank. Okay? So and I don't want debits and credits. I want it all in one column. And there's the account. Now, remember, the payroll is done in desktop. So I'm not pulling 941s and RT6, all of that. It's just like if you used ADP where you import the stuff and outside service is doing the payroll. So desktop is handling the 941s, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just importing the data so the financials are correct. But what's great about importing each paycheck is that every single thing you need on the paycheck is there.
Right.
Wages, employee, employer, blah, 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 the whole thing. So when you import it, the liability is recorded, the expense is recorded, everything's recorded. So then when you do, you go, okay, I'm going to pay the tax. The tax, let's say your payday's today, Friday, and you're going to pay the tax when it comes out Wednesday. The liability is already recorded with the import of the checks. So all you need to do is go to new transaction expense, EFTPS, for the amount on the date it's withdrawn, and it matches. It's like, wow. Same thing with food and soda. And if you have direct deposit, that goes into a direct deposit liabilities account. You just make a check called direct deposit, expense, direct deposit liabilities, add the fee. You're done. And child support the same way. It literally takes 5 minutes. You still have to do the payroll. I mean, I have some that are 2 paychecks, some that are 50 paychecks. That takes just as much time as it normally did. But I have these templates where I go, that takes 5, maybe 10 minutes. And then I reconcile all the accounts, the liability, the monthly payroll tax deposit or the pay by pay period, any child support, and the direct deposit liabilities, food is sued at the end of the quarter to make sure I captured everything. And I have never been wrong. It's, I've been doing this now since QuickBooks Connect last year.
So you're doing all of your clients' payroll out of your QuickBooks desktop and
Yes.
then importing them to their QBO database.
Right.
Nice. Nice.
And I do a lot of after the, so a lot of times, I want them to be on QBO. I like QBO. A year ago, I was, but I drank the Kool-Aid. And in fact, I have 45 people on a wholesale account now.
Nice.
And I like it because I can do it anywhere. I'm fast at it now. And just like any type of change, it took me a while to get good at it because I could make desktop sing. And then and what about, but now I'm like, it's funny, the girl that works for me, she goes, I'm, getting her in it. And she goes, I just can't make this work. And I'm like, give it time. She goes, because I'll go, oh, look, here, click this here, click that, she goes, I can't even follow you. I said, I got good at it because I'm in it all the time. So like I do a lot of restaurants, like I said, every day they email me their POS. So at about 3 a.m, all these POS reports hit. Oh, I have another template. I just type it in, import. Next one, type it in, import. So every day the POS is up to date, matches the bank. It's fabulous. I mean,
Fabulous. That's what it is.
It's absolutely fabulous. So I'm not spending a lot. So my time now is spent. So what I do is, my pricing structure is now where I have the support plan. You all know about my support plan, right? Which is what they get with me is they get a monthly meeting with me where we go over their books. I've not done their books. We just go over them. And we do it the first week of the month, and it has to be after their bank is reconciled. So we set up a time. It's like, okay, what's your time is on Tuesdays, first Tuesday of the month at 9:00. That's your time.
Now, do you have anybody that gives you a hard time about
No, it's the
meeting that deadline?
Yeah, they get to pick the time. Here are the choices. Which one do you want? Do you prefer mornings or afternoons? It's not like, when do you want to meet? It's like, well, do you want to meet? I don't ask them yes or no questions. I ask them either or questions. It's like when I was it's like raising my kids. When I raised my kids, I never said, do you want to put your shoes on? They'd always say no. So I would always say, you want to put your left shoe on or your right shoe on? And they pick one. So I always give people choices of what I don't really care what they do first. I just want them to do it. So do you like mornings or afternoons? Well, I like afternoons. Great. Do you like the beginning of the week or the end of the week? I like the end of the week. Great. Do you like Thursdays or Fridays? Great. Do you like 2 or 5? And they get to pick their time. It literally takes 30 minutes. And anyway, we go over their books, and all I do is I go, okay, let's run a report. Now run the income statement with the percentages to get the ratios. I see your COGS is 41% of your sales. That's really high. Let's get that down. I mean, you just do your, you all know what to say. Let's look at your balance sheet. Is your AR matching? Anything new coming up this month? What happened? You just talk to them. And then during the month, they can ask me as many questions as they want. Now, everybody thinks, oh my God, they're going to be bothering you all week long. Some people I never hear from. And that plan, and I pay for their QBO, and that plan costs $299 a month. Okay? So then there's my next plan. So what happens is I call it the pricing ladder. They start at the base. So they start with that. Okay, that's good. And what they like is the meeting. Because, they think they could do it themselves and they need help and they don't want to, blah, blah. So then all of a sudden they're getting behind and they don't understand, and I'm looking at this, and I will, every so often, I'll log into their QBO. I see you have 100 transactions you need to accept. Are you okay? So I'm kind of watching, So then they'll say, I'm really behind. I say, well, it sounds like you need to move up to my next plan. Well, what's that one? Well, that's where I'm kind of classifying the transaction, and that's only keyword, 150 a week. Why a week? You get 4 extra paydays in the year.
That's right. That's right.
And that doesn't sound so bad versus $600 a month.
Right.
Sounds high, where 150 a week sounds like nothing.
Right.
It's only 150 a week. I said, yeah, less than the cost of a full-time bookkeeper that you have to come in that you got found in Craigslist. You can't do the job.
And that is the truth. That is the truth.
And we still have the monthly meeting, and I'm still available for questions. I go, oh, well, that sounds good. Okay, great. Now, I said, now my turn, so anyway, that's the second plan. And then the big Mac Daddy plan is where I am their accounting department, where now they're on Bill.com. Now they're using Receipt Bank. Now they're using all these apps where, now we have bigger management meeting. Kind of the stuff like Sarah does. She's so good at all this stuff. I become Sarah.
CFO.
Yeah.
You're the CFO of the company.
CFO stuff. Now, most of my
See, I don't know how you do the second level without all those toys.
Not sure we want 2 Sarah.
Well, because they're on QBO, it's so simple. I mean, you just go in and,
cash basis. Yeah, just cash basis.
Yeah, they're not doing.
But if they,
if they're,
if they don't need, but if they have to have accrual, then you can't do the second level. Yeah.
Well, most of them don't. These are small. Larry the landscape guy. Accrual means.
Yeah, I don't have any of those.
Yeah,
They tell me
I want
it's a
some.
cruel accounting system.
I want simple, just a few.
Yeah, these are all simple, and I tell you what, these are the people that, you get a couple. They're easy to do, simple.
Yeah.
Now, in my accountant mind, I I struggle with this all the time. Like I had a client, we have a lot of rental property, and the client paid us early this month, and I went, why did you do that?
Yeah.
I had prepaid rent for 2 days.
Ah, yeah. Welcome to my world. Yeah.
My husband says, just put it down as rent against the invoice. Yes, but then I'll have unapplied bill payment. I don't want that. So, I thought I gotta have prepaid rent and applying to pay, or if they pay the insurance bill comes in and I go, oh my God, I gotta, oh, okay.
Yeah, prepaid and 12 journal entries. Yeah.
Yeah, and I go, all right, this is not a big deal to them, so they know that they have insurance coming up. But anyway, they're simple clients. So, but I do have 3 big ones that, the bill.com, and it comes in and we have a weekly management meeting. We meet weekly.
Yeah.
We go over the payables list and what's going on in the business and where do they see going, and cash management, blah, 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 and it works great. So, I do a lot of payroll, like I said, and I have discovered that I have what I call policies, terms, whatever. You come into my practice, and if you want me to do payroll is every other week. Cuts on payroll on Sunday. You give me the payroll on Monday. It's paid on Friday.
Yep, that's exactly what I do. Yep.
There is no we like to do weekly payroll.
No.
No, I can't process it that fast. It's too much. I cannot do it.
Too much. Yeah.
So no weekly payroll, and every single one of my payroll clients is on the same Monday.
Yeah, I know. So is ours. We have like payroll week, and the next week we don't have any payroll.
And there's no payroll. So next Monday's payroll week. So I start and they forget. And I go, don't forget payroll today. It's payroll day, so they'll start, it'll start coming in. And then what I do is some of them are still on checks, so because I do their payroll, I have a stack of checks. I should, over here, can you see it? There's a stack of checks over there.
Yeah.
You can see that. And, I should get one of those programs that will do the different checks. I just haven't done it yet. And, I go, okay, it's paid. And they have paychecks, and I print the paychecks here. I stick them in an envelope, mail them off. So I have to have the payroll by Monday so I can mail it back to them by Wednesday so they have it on Friday.
And you have to have enough time to turn around. Like, what if Intuit's payroll goes down, or the internet's messed up, or your computer crashes? You have to be able to react, or that one person who won't give you their, W-4.
Right. Or when I'm going through the payroll, unlike these other payroll companies, if I'm going through the payroll and I see something that's like, that just doesn't seem right.
Mm-hmm. You'll stop and ask, right? Yeah. Have ADP do that.
Yeah. They don't do it, and that's, let's say my biggest payroll client is 50 people. And if everybody was on direct deposit and it was $2 a check, they pay $100 in direct deposit fees. Well, that's still less than me mailing off this thing, buying the check stock, getting a stamp. It's still less money than processing a paper check.
Right.
So if they whine to me about it, I just look at them and say, it's $2. Don't be stepping over dollars to pick up pennies.
I'll mind pay it. They nobody's ever complained. I'm the one that complains.
We complain. We think because
I see the other services. Okay, here, hold on.
Sarah's going to switch computers,
Hold on.
going off of your phone and onto your desktop. So we'll see.
And I realize the other ones are free, but I'll tell you that free costs money. There's always a price.
Absolutely. Nobody does a thing for nothing.
Right. So if you use, and I have 2 people on QBO payroll that, because they came to me like that. And I tell you, I had one that, where I'm in Florida, and it's always at the end of the quarter. Why does it have to be at the end of the quarter? I don't know. He did a paycheck April 1st, and then he said, oh, I forgot to do a paycheck March. So he did it backwards. Well, guess what? The guy hit the threshold on the April paycheck for the unemployment. So when he did the March check, no unemployment was calculated because he hit it on the wrong thing. So when I'm filling out the form, I'm like, this isn't right. So I had to go through it line by line. Then I had to call Intuit up was on the phone with 3 hours
Oh, no.
to fix it. Now, if it was in desktop, I thought click, 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 fix.
Yeah, we could have fixed it, no problem.
You know, so if there's a problem with, you know, sometimes I don't know, I don't know if this ever happened to you, but they'll say, oh, I paid some guy early. Or, this has ever happened to you? Where now, you know, they can take pictures of their checks.
Yep.
And they take a picture of their check and it clears, and they take a
Twice.
picture of another one.
Mhm.
And I'll go, you know, and I print out both. I said, they cashed them twice.
Yeah.
I said, so this is what we can do. We're going to put the second check as an advance, and I'm deducting it from the next payroll.
Oh, really? You don't tell the bank to reverse it?
Well, it's already done. It's like, so let them know. So,
Yeah, I guess it depends on if they're a regular employee and all that.
so
I would think, but isn't that kind of crooked anyway to just,
it's wrong. I
They
mean,
can lose their bank account. The bank can drop them.
right. But anyway, and that really adds value to your service, because, you know, usually a paycheck is more than whatever small fee they pay you.
Yeah.
You know, and I just said, well, I paid for myself this month.
You
The
pay
only
for yourself
good
every
thing-
month, Deborah.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, I can do all of those fancy schmancy things in desktop. I had a girl just did a payroll today. The girl had her payroll liability for the quarter was $5,800. Guess how much she paid in tax?
What? 500?
Zero.
Oh, the pen. Oh.
So I called her up and I
The
said, did you pay any
10%?
payroll tax? Did you make any? I don't see any payroll tax deposits. Oh, I just made one for $6,000 yesterday.
It's
Okay.
it's 10% after a
I
certain time.
It's 10%. She knows she's stupid. And, you know, and I talk to her about cash flow all the time. You know, and so how do you do that in desktop? You know, because I have to, she actually paid the tax. So I can manipulate the payroll items in desktop. I can't do that in QBO or to get the payroll.
Do you feel like you're losing control? Like the ones of us that really know the software and really can get in there and do cool
Yeah, but
stuff.
I think it's
we
more
go to
than knowing the
QBO, it's
software.
like-
It's knowing how to do payroll,
Well, QBO,
and knowing what the numbers mean.
right. So I can do I like the payroll in desktop because I have all that control and I know what's
That's
going
what I
on.
mean. I like the control.
Pardon?
I like the control.
I like it. I like it in desktop. With the QBO, the financial piece.
Yeah.
I like that they're involved.
Yeah.
They were not involved with desktop.
No.
Even if we were sharing a file, they are involved with QBO, so they can see what's going on. So to me, it's like great. I mean, I know my QBO bill this next month's going to be, I think, $1,000. Yay! We got my first big QBO bill, and Hal said, "We just got a bill from Intuit for like $800."
Oh yeah, you
And I said, "I'm so mad about that." He goes,
It's a tool. It's a tool.
Yeah,
Look what the revenue is.
he goes, "What's the matter? Are we going to check it out and see what's wrong?" I said, "I am so mad about it. I'm going to fix it." He goes, "Well, good." I said, "Because next month it's going to be 1,000." Yeah, yes, don't ask me.
Let me see if Linda can come back on. I think she had a question about payroll.
I mean, I'm happy to show you how to do it. I mean, you know, I don't have any payrolls to import right now. Next week,
Do you have any of the ones that you're doing some in desktop and importing them to QBO?
Mhm.
Do you have any that have do you need all the class allocations and all that too?
you can do that if you want. You do it all in desktop, and then you
Yeah.
map it. I can show you. Do you want me to share my screen?
No,
I can show you-
well, wait, Deb, stop. There's a lot of confidential information on payroll and importing. We can't have names.
well,
okay.
then I can't show you.
okay.
Turn off the video.
Let's just talk in the dark.
Privately.
Long story
I
short.
would love to see a demo. Actually, I would, but I think you guys need to talk privately.
My question is, then you don't need a like my program to break it out by class code and bring it in like
No, because it's already done in
it'll read
desktop.
it. It'll read it.
Yeah.
Well, it goes to if you have all kinds of pay codes, it'll go to all the different GL accounts and everything.
When you look at a paycheck that you
Yeah.
import into, think of it like this. Remember, in QuickBooks Desktop, you're using payroll items,
Right,
and they all point to accounts.
right.
In the import, you don't use payroll items, you're using the accounts.
Okay.
Okay? So
Okay.
if you have 100 payroll items and
Yeah,
they all point to wages,
yeah,
when you import it, it's all going to go to wages.
right.
Okay? So if you have it posted to different GL accounts, you know, it's going to go wherever that,
Do it check by check?
check by check, which I like
Yeah,
because,
if you have 50 people going to whatever warehouse wages, you're going to see 50 checks, right?
yeah. So if they all, so the people that are on direct deposit, they still come in as 0 checks.
Yeah.
And then, because the direct deposit liability is part of
Right.
that import. So then I go, okay, here's all, and I reconcile so all the direct deposit people are listed, and then I make the expense.
Nice. And then you don't have to pay per QBO. You just buy the program and use it for all.
Once you buy it once, it's bought. There's no rebuying it
know.
monthly, you know, whatever.
TPI can compete with that. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, and the guy,
how expensive is it?
like $185.
Oh, it's even less expensive than TPI.
Well, TPI is per connection.
I know.
So, you know, you have, I mean, I have 45 people.
$200 for me to up. I was gonna I'm getting another license of the importer. It's $200 for just the importer.
Well, at desktop, and what's nice about the importer, you can move it from machine to machine.
Yeah.
You know, but it's on desktop, and you can hook up different clients. If you're using it in QBO, it's $20 per client. You can't unhook it and rehook it and
I know.
So
So it sounds like Zed is a
it's a better deal.
better deal. Yeah.
Yeah. So I talked to Karen. I said, well, you know, I would use you if you could match the price.
Yeah.
I'll give you 10% off. Big deal. $2.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, 10 clients. You know,
It adds up if you have a lot of
it adds
clients.
up. You know, you have 50 people. My goal is to have 50 people on QBO. You know, 50 times 20, that's $1,000.
She needs an accountant's version, like sell one to the general public, whatever a month, 20 a month or whatever. But for people like us, you know, give us a bulk discount or something.
Yeah, if they would use something like Zed, I mean, you know, I get that people want to make money, and I'm all about paying for software. But then it comes the tipping point comes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, all these apps start adding up, and am I really using them?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I know. I was talking to ShareFile today. They're setting me up as a referral, something or other, and I'm on an old grandfathered plan, so I pay $180 a quarter, and the new plan's $125 a month with 5 user minimum. And I'm like, you know, I can't do that. But and then the more she talked, she said now they're bundling everything in one price. So you've got the right signatures. They've got you can send your contract in a document. They write signature. They can click to pay. As it's got a payment merchant in it, and it's unlimited data. And you can now sync your entire server, and you know. And the Share Connect, so I don't have to use Log Me In.
I hate Log Me In.
Yeah. So I'm like, ooh, now I got to look at it. But then I'm gonna have to drop some other stuff because.
I know, because you know we can't keep going back to our.
I can't. You know, I go through these, and I'm being nickel and dime. I'm going to have to drop Ledger Sync. I'm going to have to drop something because I just cannot. You know, and I get my credit card bill, and it's all monthly app.
Yeah, they only go. Well, it's only $30. Yeah, you're only $30.
Only $30, and they're $30, and you're 40, and you're 10.
Like HubDoc is $20 per. I don't even use Hub. I know people love HubDoc. I can't get it to work for me. You know,
I've got it. It works really well for 3 clients.
Yeah.
The rest of them, I might have to.
You know, and I just think plus, you know, it's me and a part-timer, and you know, I really should hire. In fact, I call a couple of my clients. I say, you want to work for me?
Wow, your clients are good.
You know, and you know, a couple of people I've met along the way, and one girl's, I just got a job. I said, oh, too bad. And the other girl lives in Georgia. I said, well, you know, so because I thought I need help because I'm doing a lot. I mean, all of the change in the QBO and the set access and all that, that's all me coming up with these, how to do it. Because what I do is all the data comes from clients all differently. Every
Right.
POS is different. Every
You need to write your processes down in case something happens to you.
right. Well, the process is
That
the
was
same.
absolutely what Jenny what I just
Screenshots.
put on. Yeah.
Well, the
I'm on
process is
Talk.
the same. You know, you do this, and every client has their own template. You know, so you know, like if you looked at my Z-axis, you would see sales receipts, Sherry Sushi, sales receipt PJ, sales receipt DJ, sales receipt, you know, payroll this one, payroll that one. You know, but so I have to come up with these templates.
Yeah.
And then they're in Excel, and they're pinned to the desktop, so they're easy to find.
Yeah.
Quick.
So you need a good CRM program too.
Well, you know, I do, but you know, when am I going to take the time to learn it? Oh crap, I can hardly learn. You know.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's like I have the and I'm about to do another one where I had a smart sheets that match all the fields that I need on a sales receipt, and I made a web form, and so I'm having my nonprofits log in donations as the checks come in, and it's feeding right to my spreadsheet automatically. And once a month, I mean, we're taking, you know, cut and paste in Excel and then bring it into the batch enter. Something that used to take us an entire day, you know, name and address and new donor and set up the sales receipt. 30 seconds.
well,
Nice.
that's what I do with my car dealers. I mean, every single car dealer gets recorded, and it's.
You know
all-
what? Karen's been doing it for the last 6 months. There's no way in hell I can remember how to do it. I told her the other day, I said, we must sit down and make a video or screenshots exactly how to do this. And then I've got another client, and so they just came off of PayPal and Square, and the new website works with Stripe.
Mhm.
And so she was sending me, we were working together. She said, here's what it looks like if you export it. And I'm like, I need this and this. Okay, let me work some more on it. And oh, here it is. You know, so I'm like, if I can get that comma delimited file once a month and do the same type routine with my TPI, so then all my credit card and ticket sales and all that stuff will come in.
Yep.
And
That's
then I'll
what
have
I
my
do that
smart
with.
sheets, you know. So
I do that with an audiologist. Every day they have, I log into a thing, it downloads the thing, I run a macro, pop, there it is. And, you know, and that's what's hard about, you know, if people charge by the hour, how can I charge for 5 minutes?
No. I don't want them to know it took me 30 seconds to use.
Oh, I throw powder on my face. It looks like I worked hard. Woo-hoo-hoo.
So
You see that commercial? You see that Rice Krispies commercial where she makes Rice Krispies and she walks out to the kitchen, she takes flour and she throws it on her face to make it look like she worked really hard? That's me.
and QuickBooks, right? Oh,
The thing is, I can't remember all,
But
like before my brain was this. And now I'm like, how do you do it? So I've got to make my little books.
But you know what, Sarah? I do that for the simplest thing, especially being new to QuickBooks and everything. Oh, did I just learn how to wait, let me do it again. And I'll turn Zoom on right quick and I'll record what I just did so that I know
Yeah.
how to do it. And I'll
Absolutely.
go back to it if I need to, you know?
Yep.
You should taught me that one, man. Everything I do, if it's something that I had to actually research, I will Zoom my way through it, rather, where, you know, regardless of if it's in desktop or TPO, I Zoom it.
You know what I did? I had a guy that a couple times a year he'd call me and go, I can't remember how to do a bank rec. I can't remember. So finally,
reconciling his bank
I
account.
said, just send me your bank statements. And you know, I went through and got him. He's real little, you know. And he said, I can do this myself, but I keep forgetting how. So I got him all called up, and then I turned on the Zoom, and I said, hi. I said, I'm going to show you how to do a bank rec. And then, so anyway, I just walked through the last bank rec, and then I sent him the little video file, and he was so funny when he called. He's like, that's the coolest thing. I'm going to save it and watch it over. Every time I do a bank rec, I'm going to watch it.
Wow. So I'm going to stop for just a second. Say hola to Mariette. She's with us.
Where is she?
Yeah, you can't.
Hi, guys.
There she is.
I'm doing my regular walk. I'm doing my walk. You know, I have to sneak you guys in when I actually can take a little break. So
Mark
I have a
dropped
call
me
in
off.
7 minutes. Hi, Mark.
He's walking the dog. He dropped me off
Oh.
because our alarm system hasn't put in yet, so we can't leave.
Oh.
How did Penny do at the vet?
Oh, it's a big fat thing.
Okay.
The tumor. So she did a needle and under the microscope. She said it's just, I guess, dogs like her and labs and stuff like that, they get these fat things.
So are they going to remove
They'll probably
it?
get bigger.
Is she okay?
Yeah, so she's fine. Her ears are a little messed up, so got some medicine for her ears. But I don't know. This thing, it started off like a little pea, and then it got a little bigger, and then it was like getting towards a golf ball, and I'm like,
Are they going to remove it?
Is it stopping her from breathing or anything?
nope, it's right under the skin on her chest. She said it isn't near any organ or anything, and it's just benign. So, I mean, you know, if it starts affecting her looks, maybe do some cosmetic surgery. But I just, as long as it's the best dog we've ever had, so I just don't. We lost our last dog to cancer, so. So
Oh, no wonder you ran
it was worth the, God, what was it, $150
To find out and relieve your mind. Linda, did you have a question about payroll? You had your hand up at one point, and
No, there was something I was gonna say, but I can't remember what it was now.
You must assume what you have to say if you can't say it right away.
Well, sometimes if it's real important, you'll remember it. It'll come
Yeah,
back.
2 o'clock in the morning if you're like me.
Yeah, that's when I remember it.
But she was talking about something, and I was gonna ask something about what she was talking about at that moment.
Yeah, it was was talking about something. Yeah.
Yeah.
payroll, right?
Was it something you wanted to ask?
As a matter of fact.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
Sarah,
Huh?
to Sarah,
Oh, no, you're not alone.
my last dog before the 2 I have now
Uh-huh.
got the little fatty tumors all over his body.
Wow.
All right. And I ended up, it bothered me. Okay. I knew
Yeah.
they were just fatty, but they bothered me.
Didn't bother the dog. Just
No, it didn't bother the dog at all. But I drew a picture of the dog as if it was a bearskin rug, only it was the dog. And I marked out exactly where every single tumor was. There must have been 40 tumors on this dog. And we went in with my little map of the dog rug, and he took like clippers,
Yeah.
you know, that you shave people with, and he clipped every single one, and then they operated on them and got rid of them all. He says, I'm not positive I'll get them all, but I'll try to get them all.
Yeah, 'cause,
Wow.
see, I don't know how I ended up in accounting. I always wanted to be a surgeon. Well, I know why.
Uh-huh.
I'm in accounting and not a surgeon. I hate chemistry. But, I'm addicted to YouTube videos with the vets and the operations and
Oh, yeah,
everything.
right.
And I told the vet, I said, you know, if I had the stuff, I could get that tumor out.
You probably could.
I probably could. But
So,
that's funny. So that's good news. Well, good. I'll go into the.
So Sarah, you had mentioned something. So you're using Google Forms and using the Smart Sheets with them?
Smartsheet has a form.
oh, okay.
Okay.
That's her
Did
design,
you know
right?
that you could use Smart Sheets with Google Forms?
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, I was playing around today with Google Forms,
Yeah.
looking at the different apps that attached, and it said Smart Sheets.
Cool.
So
Well,
you-
that makes sense because it would. Oh, wait, yeah, I had played with that because it made a column for every field. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've tested that out. You basically can go into a Google Sheet and then you can turn it into a Smart Sheet and then you can open it in Smart Sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's actually pretty cool if you use Smart Sheet, definitely. Hey, I have a quick question for you guys.
Yeah.
So I posted it. So I'm working on some personal financial strategy for some clients.
The budget.
Yes. So I am super duper pushing a a campaign to learn YNAB, which is you need a budget. I spent 5 hours last night on it, setting mine up and learning about it.
It's
And
what?
so
What are the initials?
YNAB, you need a budget. So it's all over my Facebook.
Budget.
Yeah, YNAB, which is you need a budget.
Can you use it for a company or is it just personal?
Well, it's all personal. So this is strictly personal financial planning.
Mhm.
But I'm just curious if any of you guys use another app, or if you use Mint, or what I've been using for years is QuickBooks Online, but I don't like how the budget works personally. So that's why I'm using YNAB with my personal financial planning tool, like as my personal budgeting tool, but I'm still going to use QuickBooks Online to pull in all the data because it's pulled in so nice and I can create financial statements.
Will actual stuff pull into the budget program?
Yes, it does. It literally pulls in. So I'm going to start making videos and you guys can follow
I'm
me.
going to do that.
It is really nice.
Mark and
Yeah.
I merged our desktop and our Quicken.
Uh-huh.
QBO.
You merge your desktop and your Quicken into QBO?
When we got married, I was desktop. He was Quicken, and we couldn't merge.
Oh.
That's like,
Oh, you couldn't merge. That's so sweet.
We merged and went to QBO.
Oh, I love that. You got married on QBO.
That's awesome.
You got married in the cloud. That is like a beautiful story. We should record that.
The problem is now it's a little too transparent.
Oh.
So
it's naked. Are you feeling naked and confused?
Like,
it's
if
okay.
I use our Amazon, he wants everything on the Amazon card so we can get points or something. Except that every time I use the Amazon card, it buzzes his wrist and tells him the story.
oh, I hate that. How does that with our Dero card? He'll go, what did you just buy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I have a friend who wife does him like that. Every time he swipes, he's trying to buy her something for her birthday, but she can see everything that he's buying if he used a credit card.
Oh, no surprise there.
Yeah, when we're having dinner, I'll just like, I just bought some paper checks for a client and, you know, get them set up. And it was like $300. They reimbursed me. So I put it on the thing and I'm sitting there.
What's this?
And he goes, Check Depot? That's legit.
Busted.
Then put right
Check
there.
Depot, is Check Depot less than what do I use?
Nebs?
Check Depot is, I use Check Depot is great because it's called checkdepot.net and they'll match anybody's price and give you 10%.
Because I get 15% with
Checks for less.
Whatever you use.
I think it's checks for less.
checks for less, 15%. Yep.
Well, I've always used checkdepot.net. So you go, I just, you know,
But you get a commission, right? You still get a percent?
No, I just buy it, you know. So like today I bought.
Nina Sheba, come on. We get these little quarterly checks, but sometimes they're like $100.
Well, I make, you know, like they just bought 3,000 checks. It was, I think it was $150 on Check Depot, but on bankaccount.com, it was $129. They'll match that price plus 10%. Well, I'll charge them the $159 and I'll make up the difference.
Okay. All right. So you're getting the difference.
No, don't worry. I'm making money.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm going to, you know, if they want to buy it themselves and I'm putting out my credit card, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah, that's why I like my 15%. It's easy. But
Yeah.
I had another client the other day. I was reviewing and I went into it. What the hell? You don't buy forms from Intuit.
Yeah, they're like 4 times as much money.
Gosh, they're wicked expensive.
Right.
Even if you get one of the IRPs to give you, they're like no.
Yeah. Checks for less is still less than what I can get with the IRP, and I'm a premier. I'm a premier.
We are just about out of time. And Linda, you wanted to talk a little bit about a troublesome client. Do you want to?
When I just wonder about how you usually handle somebody. Like I had somebody and I basically cleaned up. They took a QuickBooks for Mac file that had never been cleaned up or looked at very much. And they brought it into QuickBooks Online. And then they attached an app called Ivy Mark, which is an interior designer tool that does invoices, receives payments, and processes credit cards, and then syncs that automatically with QuickBooks. And I discovered when I was cleaning it, there was like 10 pages of open invoices coming all the way from 2007 until now. I've got it down and I just have about 5 more to clean up in 2016 and 2017. But the thing I discovered is that they have 6 sales tax payable accounts. And
Oh, that didn't convert. Oh, yeah. This is the same client, huh?
there were 4 of them that were created before they were brought in.
Right.
And not only do they have these accounts, and then they created 2 more since they brought it to online. So they now have 6 sales tax payable, and they have 6 different sales tax vendors. And trying to clean it out, and I had originally told her, you're going to need, we'll semi-clean it up, but it'll be not cleaned up properly. You're going to need to start a new data file the end of the year that you can start using January 1st. But I mean, I just kind of had a meltdown looking at that because I don't have any access to their Ivy, and I think it's mapped. And I wondered if there was any way, I was thinking of trying to do something that Sarah did. Remember, Sarah tries to explain to her clients all the ways different things fit together, drawing like a picture. And I was thinking trying to do that with sales tax, because they get confused between you have an account and you have a vendor name. And they're 2 very different things. And you don't declare, you don't set up each county as a different sales tax payable account, which is, I think they think was the way to do it.
We
So-
do.
What am I looking at here?
We do. With my carpet company, I have to because I've got so many different.
But aren't they all paid? Who do you pay them to? Do they get paid to different vendors? Or the same
Lots of
vendor?
different vendors. All the code. I have separate codes that go to one vendor.
Yeah,
Are you
this
doing it in
I
desktop
set
or
it
in
up.
QBO, Sarah?
Yeah, we have a form online. We have a form online that we have to say, okay,
Right.
this is how much sales tax is for the state of California. But it splits out among the district this way, so much in this district and so much in that district.
Mm-hmm.
And then it all calculates and you pay your sales tax. Well, they just were setting up everything as if it's completely different, a different name for who you pay it to, and just, you can't fill in the form then because it doesn't add up right. So, but how do you usually handle that with people? Just talk to somebody else and not have them understand it at all, or?
Well, I think when we looked at it, we figured out part of what was going on.
The
didn't
problem was it was not mapped correctly from Ivy.
we? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
So,
that's
and-
part of
and-
it, but
And if she's not going to give you access to Ivy, then, you know,
If you're not gonna have access to Ivy, then I'll.
it's like you're trying to work handicap.
Right.
So I'm just gonna finish up and then hand it back to her. I'm telling her that, and I'll put it in writing too, that I really highly recommend that she just get through this year, and in November or December, she get a brand new QuickBooks Online file set up. She can bring her chart of accounts, she can bring her customers, she can bring, whatever she wants to bring in, but only have one sales tax payable account and only one sales tax payable vendor.
Right.
Don't make lots of,
Or do all of her sales tax in Ivy and just use a regular liability and don't even use the sales tax in QBO.
Well, it depends
I
on
have-
how it's mapped. Is it bringing in sales receipts? I couldn't.
I don't know how it brings the invoices in and it brings the payments in.
Well, then you have to use it. Probably
They
have to, use the
have to
sales.
then do the deposits. They have to deposit the payments received, and they also have to make sure that the payments were applied to the correct invoice.
Right.
Part of what happens is, and I find clients do this a lot, if something doesn't match up, they just ignore it. It doesn't bother them that a payment overpaid something by 1,000.
Oh my goodness.
No, they don't say like, oh, well, there's something wrong here because I know my client wouldn't overpay by 1,000. Now, a penny or two, maybe, yeah, maybe $10, $20, but not 1,000. But it's like they just
Completely ignored it. So could you?
Well, that's nothing.
set
I
up-
got a client that has interest only drafted every month on this multi-million-dollar construction loan.
right.
And I get this fax yesterday. This guy does everything through fax. He goes, "What? Is this right?" And I'm looking at it, and it says, the normal $1,500 interest, and it says $31,000 late fee, drafting like tomorrow. And I'm like, no. And then, so anyway, so I blasted out to the treasurer because they won't call me, talk to me. But it was Bank of America, U.S. Trust or something.
Right.
Seen the emails this morning. We're so sorry, it was an error. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you better not draft the account.
Oh my
It's
goodness.
getting a little ugly.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I had a
Well,
client
listen,
once.
Linda, could you set up regular items, not tax items, and have them imported from Ivy? That way you can
Does
have.
Ivy calculate it?
I think
Yeah, see,
Ivy
she- I don't think-
calculates the tax and everything. I think so. And now there are always, the other thing there might be, and she thinks that if she goes back into Ivy and deletes things in Ivy, she thinks Ivy will resync and take it out of QuickBooks. And I said, I wouldn't be so sure.
Chances are,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, if it's only a one-way sync, it's going to.
That's my thought too. So I think I probably just am going to finish this and have it done Monday and not work with her anymore. Only because she doesn't
grasp the concept.
understand.
If she never cared about getting her,
Yeah, I mean, when you go
Back
from
cleaned up.
2007 to 2017,
and
and
who,
it isn't until 2017, 10 years later, you say, you know what, maybe I need an expert.
and then she converted herself to
She
PBO.
didn't really say that. Her bookkeeper said her bookkeeper was ready to quit because she moved from QuickBooks for Mac to QuickBooks Online, and her bookkeeper doesn't know how to use QuickBooks Online.
That's even better.
Work QuickBooks
You want to try to learn?
Mac either.
Well, I've actually worked on both the Mac now and online. Oh, I was going to back up what Deb said. Since I've been working on online, I have, especially with this particular client, because I'm really good on the cleanup work. And I realize doing the cleanup in QuickBooks Online is the same as doing it in desktop, except it's done with a different process.
Yeah.
And so I called up online, and I've been working with the QuickBooks Online support. They'll spend an hour or two with me trying to clean up this mess. They are so good at QuickBooks Online. She says, oh, let me show you this. They come right onto my computer and everything. And it's like, it really is pretty neat. So I'm going to
So
definitely.
you're in the reclass. You're using the reclass tool.
I could see it won't work on things like the sales tax payable.
No.
When you get into special things like AR, AP, or sales tax payable, all the things that you can use on other accounts,
Yeah, it
you
won't
can't
work.
use on those accounts.
Right. And that makes sense because there's more than one step to each of
Yeah,
these
you're
processes.
sitting in
And you
between
can't, you can't
yeah.
merge them together. It refuses. It won't let you do that. So what we decided to do was like journal entry it from one to another by quarter. Like the summary of it by quarter, get it all into one,
Everybody, I gotta go, so.
I gotta go too.
Bye, Deb. Glad to see you. Thank you for the payroll info.
Welcome.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.
Have a nice weekend.
Bye-bye.
All right, good.
The question I wonder, Linda, is why won't they give you access to the Ivy information?
I don't know. And
This is recording.
Yes, we're still recording.
Oh, okay.
Before I leave, though, I do want to say that Mariette wants us to take the YNAB challenge, and she wants us to let her know what we use for our own personal budget. So
Nothing.
it's a poll on Facebook. It's easy.
I don't want a budget.
Yeah, I'm thinking I'm
When's leaving
72.
us
I could
also.
use a budget.
So I'm going to end. We are a little bit over
Right.
time.
All right,
Same time, same place next
Right.
week.
right,
See everyone later.
right. And Sarah?